Okay, so we are trying to target artificial intelligence, and we are trying to empower every person what you can do better with simple to understand and simple to use Power BI for developers, data scientists, for management people, everyone. So this is going to be an absolutely very fantastic feature, and it's going to be a good future of Power BI and plenty of people who are involved in artificial intelligence, data science, that sort of aspects as well. Now, thank you to the sponsors. This event is sponsored by Microsoft, PAS, and also DGO. About myself, I think I've done this plenty of times. I'm Dr. Subramani Paramasivam, in short, Manny. I'm a data platform MVP, and also I hold 3 Power BI user groups. And these are all my certifications that's going to come across. And also I've spoken in plenty of conferences and events. And you can follow me up on any of these social media stuff. Next, Data Awareness Program is one of the other awareness events that we do on top of empoweringeveryperson.com. But this is the version 1 of Empowering Every Person, where we go directly to college and then we interact with students, teachers, parents, and also who are like kind of from layman perspective, we try and interact with them to give them awareness. So that's when Data AP started. And Empowering Every Person, we already talked about that. So let's jump on to our topics. So what am I going to cover for today is AI capabilities in Power BI, which is an upcoming feature from Microsoft, and the preview features is still not available for us as a public preview. It's just announced, and AI in Microsoft Azure. So what are the other cognitive services that are available for us? And we're going to see some of the demos as well on that. Okay, let's give a start on that. First, AI capabilities. So these are the features that are available. 3 of them being introduced just last week or this week. With cognitive services, we know what is Microsoft Cognitive Services, and then we are going to have this capability embedded within Power BI pretty soon. What it does is like it can do powerful extraction of various data sources like documents, images, and social media feeds. So what that means is you don't really need to have your Power BI desktop to do these sort of things. You can clearly and easily extract everything with your PowerBI.com browser-based application. And you also can have identify named entities with algorithms. So when I talk about algorithms, it can detect organization, people, any image that you're going to pass it on, and that sort of thing. And also recognize objects and images, detect language, whatever has been mentioned there, and any identify key phrases and determine positive or negative sentiment by seeing just the picture. So machine learning models are also involved on these things. That's really very lovely features that we are trying to get out of these things. Next, this is a new terminology called key driver analysis. So what does this do actually? So as you see, this is the image, the screenshot published by Microsoft. What they're trying to say is when a data set has been fed, we don't have to create a poll kind of feature, but this, I'm not talking about exact poll, but as you can see, the data creates certain percentage of everything to say what exactly the outcome of the data that is being given. So it is trying to understand the analysis, and it is predicting or prescribing. It could be a key drive for all of your business analytics. So in this example, what they're saying is what influences a student's plan to attend a college. So it could be parental encouragement, or parental income is high, or intelligence is high, or gender is female. So there are loads of things. Again, these are all kind of automatically created by these key drive analysis. We don't have demo yet because we don't have the public preview for us to even review it, and this has just been given in Microsoft articles. Then build and integrate Azure machine learning. So these are the machine learning models that you can really embed within Power BI. So nowadays, machine learning has become everyday tool for data scientists, but to be data scientists, actually, I have to say, and also data analysts, developers, even developers started doing these ones. But the beauty of this one is it's targeted to any Power BI users and novice. You can create a machine learning model. You don't need any help from developers or data scientists. So that kind of feature is going to be involved on this new feature that's going to be released pretty soon. I'm very much excited to interact with those sort of things. Now, the second part of the session is about AI in Microsoft Azure and Azure Cognitive Services. So we already have plenty of features in Cognitive. So let's see how do we exploit those ones in here. Now, the first feature of that one is Q&A Maker. So I'm not sure how many of you are aware of the Q&A Maker. So there is one of the services called Q&A Maker, which is coming under the knowledge. So Azure Cognitive Services have got 5 big layers. One is the speech, vision, knowledge, search, and language. And this Q&A maker is part of the knowledge. And this is also a cloud-based API service, and it's kind of a question and answers. It's a frequently asked questions. It's not just something that you have to create something from the scratch. By default, whenever you create, they give already about 50 to 70 questions to say like, hi means hello, how are you? So that kind of very simple things that can be like automatically fit. Now here you have 2 options. Whether you can give another URL which has got a fact, question and answers, and then you can also try and have a CSV or a PDF document which has got question and answers. So this simple API is going to understand, gather the question and also answer. And when you're trying to have a chatbot ask a question, you don't have to ask the exact question as is. As long as the words matches any word, it's going to give you the results accordingly. So that's a very great feature, and it's no more a dream come true. It's a very simple click and connect and make it to work project. Now let's jump on to a simple flow of what it says here. The steps involved here is you're going to create a Q&A service in Azure. Then you're going to create a knowledge base. Either you can use the URL like I said earlier, or you can upload any documents like that. And once you have these, you're going to train and test. You can test it immediately on the Q&A Maker website, and then you're going to publish it. Once you publish it, you're going to get the keys, and you're going to use these keys in your Azure bot app, which is going to help you to have this embedded in your Power BI. I'll show you the flow on that one later. Now, Azure Bot Service itself is something coming from Azure, and this bots provides an experience that feels like using a computer and more like dealing with a person. So what that means is like you're trying to chat with somebody, but it's not a human being chatting until giving the results back, but it is actually a chat that you're making against the computer. Computer is giving you based on whatever questions you're asking. And it's not just us. Plenty of companies have already started implementing this a while ago, but it has come to now or a year ago with these sort of services where people started to understand and start to implement this in their existing environment. So this sort of data can also be connected to a backend SQL database or Oracle database, anything, but the system can go back and then extract the data. If CTO or CIO is trying to ask like how many employees are there and what are the sales outcome, and those sort of information, once they fed in, it's going to give you back in the results easily. So you're going to plan, build, test, publish, connect, and evaluate. And again, you can go back to build process. It's not one-off things. So you can always go back and evaluate. All right. Next, we're going to combine this Q&A maker and the Azure bot together. So we're going to integrate that with the bot service, where we're going to use the SDK version 3, and you're going to use a simple template called Q&A template, which is here. And this is not available in version 4, it's only in version 3. Once you use that, then you're going to get a service created. In the bot app, you have these application settings where you're going to use the authorization key, endpoint, hostname, and knowledge base ID. These 3 information must be fed back from the IDs that you're going to get back from the Q&A maker. So once you created your previous one in here, the keys, what I said earlier, that keys must be given in this place. So that's how you're combining the Q&A maker into the Azure bot. Now, once you have that information, you can also feed this Azure bot into various channels like Cortana or Internet or Teams or Skype for Business, and also more channels like email, Cake, GroupMe, Slack, or anything else. If you don't have anything like this, for example, Power BI is not a channel here, but I'm going to give you a demo of how you can make it to work with Power BI. So it's going to give you a custom script, iframe based. You're going to embed that into your dashboard, and then it's going to work for you. Now, how does it work? So this is a simple dashboard, and this is a tile. We're going to use the web content, and then all I'm going to use is just press this iframe that I'm going to get from the previous screen. And once I have it, you have the chat window here. You type your message here, enter, you're going to get the response back in the same window. Okay, let's jump on to demo. Before going to the demo, I'm just going to give you a scenario of what exactly I'm trying to do. As a layman and perspective, you can really understand. If you don't understand what exactly I was talking about, this will make you to be very clearly understanding on the flow of the demo. So first, I'm going to visit Q&A Maker. I can simply go to Google for you to make it easy. So Q&A maker.ai. So once you click on that, you get to this screen, right? So from fact to bot in minutes. That's really in minutes, actually. I'm going to sign in as myself. And that's not the account that I was trying to go sign out. So I'm going to sign in as a different user. So basically, I wanted to sign in into this one to whichever account that I have connected to my portal.azure.com. So where I have my credits and everything available. So that's my Microsoft account, which is the Hotmail one I'm using there, and I have already created one of the bots. So if I want to create a brand new bot, all I have to do is go to create a knowledge base. Okay? And before I go in there, the step one here, so you have only few steps here, as you see. Step one is to create a Q&A service. So once I hit on this, it's going to open my portal.azure.com, which is going to log in with the same account what I logged in earlier. If it does not log in as that, then I may need to log in back again, but no, it's logged in as that one. That's fine. Now, by default, it started giving me create option, right? So all I have to say is, what is this service about? So service for bot, and then I'm going to say which price planning that I have to choose for, and then which location. At the moment, this is only supported in West US, unfortunately, but it's going to be coming into other locations as well. So resource group, you have plenty of resource groups, or if you want to create a brand new one, you can create a brand new one. So for all artificial intelligence stuff, I already created a resource group called RG_AI. So I'm going to choose that. I'm not going to create right now, but I'm just choosing the option for you. The pricing tier on this one is F, B, S, and other things. So the available pricings is the next one is B. Then search location, I can change this to any other location, for example, West Europe, and the app name is serve.azurewebservices.net, and click on create. So what happens after this is, so let me go back to my resource groups, and I'm going to choose my resource group. In this RG, as you can see, I have got all of these services up and running. So basically, once I have these services created, which is from the Q&A maker, once this is totally complete, this is going to be integrated into all of these, which means the last 5 is actually coming from my Q&A, and the top 4 is actually coming from the app that I actually built from the Brexit app. So that bot app. Now, once I created that, all I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my directory ID to choose my account. And once I choose there, it's going to give me the partner network, what I'm going to choose. But before this, I need to show you these of the configurations, all right? So which I will again jump in and jump out every time I'm trying to do that one. The service that I created earlier was Q&A service 01. So I'm just going to integrate that here. And once I've given, I'm going to name it. So I already named it as Brexit bot. So I'll say it as some 67. I'm not going to create anyway, but the URL. So here I've just went to the URL where I've got Brexit app. So if I go to simply Google, and then I'm just searching for BBC Brexit fact. Sorry, I said facts. Hang on a second. So in here, all you need to know about the UK leaving the EU, BBC News. So if I go in here, I can see there are plenty of questions in here, and also answers, question and answers, and you also have a roadmap. Okay, so that's the URL that I need. So I'm just going to hit copy and then go back to my Q&A maker and paste. Now it's going to analyze and get me it's going to get all of the contents on that one. If you have more URL, you can click on more URL to add. If you only have a local file, you can click on your local file to choose any files that you have. Okay, and this is a chit chat. So chit chat is nothing but like when you're asking a question to the bot, it should give you an answer in a professional way. Or if you think the answer should be in a friendly way, you can choose, or in a comical way, like in theatrical stuff, then it's going to be that way. So whichever option you choose, it's going to be responding or changing the phrase or terminologies of the framing of English words in that way. Now, once everything has been fed in, you're going to click on create your KB. So if I go to my knowledge base, And that's the Brexit board that I have. So I'm going to click on that. So when I click on create, so that is what it has analyzed. So basically what it does is, as you see, what does Brexit mean? So it has found the answer in here. And why is Britain leaving the European Union? Then that's the answer here. Then find the results in areas. As you see, there are plenty of pages in here. Okay, so it keeps going for various number of pages, analyzed. If you think this particular question is irrelevant, you can hit on delete it. If you think you want to add something brand new, you can click on add Q&A pair. All right, so as you see here, I'll go to the page 1 and I added something on the top. If I say, can we start our chat? Then the answer should be should on. What is your name? Then it should say what it is. Who are you working for? Then it should say what it is. So you can just simply say, click on add Q&A pair, and then you can go for it. All right. And also by default, I'll go for the, last page, where you can see these are all the questions, what is being created automatically by the bot window. So are you smarter than me? Who is smarter, me or you? Which one of us are smarter? Do you think you are smarter than me? So for whatever questions you ask, the answer is going to be, you may be smarter, but I'm less corporeal doom. So this is because I chose the chit chat with friendly way. Okay, so this has been like kind of configured automatically, so you don't have to worry about what if there is a question, something being asked something different way. All right, so that's a very good way of interacting with the things. Now, once you have done everything, all you're going to do is save and train, and then test. Then you're going to publish it. All right. If I go back to the settings, I didn't make any change, so I'm going for OK. So these are the information that I fed earlier. As you can see, that's my URL, what I got once I published it, and I've just used those ones in my stuff. I can test it here, and I'm just going here to test. Hi. It says hey. Who are you? It says I'm a lot like the Clint Eastwood cowboy who had no name. So it's like friendly way. If you have made the chit chat to a different way, it's going to respond in a different way as well. Now, I'm just asking, what is Brexit? And it's saying it is a word that is used as a shorthand way of saying the UK leaving the EU, merging the words Britain and exit. So it's giving clear information. So I want to know the results, for example. So this says results or is available in this particular link. So when I go on get the results in full, that's going to give the full referendum results, and you can give the postcode and then the council and constituency, and you can see how it has won. Right? I'm going to go back one step. Now, once you have tested, you're happy with it, then you can hit on publish. Once you publish, then you're going to get all of the information related to the keys talked about. So once you have the keys, then we're going to use that one to our Azure bot. So once we have created our bot service in here, I mean, like it's only these applications and services are created. To create the actual Brexit app, then what we're going to do is create a resource, and then you'll go to AI and machine learning. Then you're going to have an option called web app bot. And here I'm going to feed in the application bot that I need, and I also talk to you about various other bot frameworks in here, like SDK version 3, and I have to choose this question and answer, which is in C#, and choose the various other options and hit on create. It's going to create the app for you. So let me go back to my resource groups again, RGAI and Brexit bot 2. And once you are here, you can see what is the messaging endpoint, and the subscription talks about everything in here. Now, we also have option to test in web chat. So here you can do the test. When you're trying to do a test here, it may fail if you haven't configured it. So the configuration will go to the application settings option in this place. And this gives every single configuration that is required for an app to work, which is the bot app to work. We're not going to touch anything else, but like I said earlier, these are the options that I fed in here. Okay, the knowledge base ID, endpoint host, and authorization key, which I showed you in the previous screen in Q&A Maker. Okay, so that's the knowledge base ID, host, and then the authorization endpoint key. So these three are programmed in these places. So it's always like hidden. Now going back to this test in web chat, I can ask the same question here to make sure to see if that works. So I'm going to ask what happened after Brexit. keyword. Okay. Brexit results. Okay. What happened after Brexit? No good match, in fact. So this is one particular question where it says like I haven't really programmed this question, and it says no good match, in fact. That is good. Now, what changes in government? So it says like Britain got a new prime minister after this Brexit things has happened, and loads of stuff has happened, and that kind of features is actually showing up. I had some message. I'm not sure whether anybody asking any questions. Okay, let me keep going. Now, so this is how you test it. Now, these are the channels where you have options to publish this information to various other things. As you see, like you can also publish to Skype for Business and various other options in here. Now, if you want to customize this, you're going to get bot embed codes. And this is the code what we need. So I'm going to click on copy. And as you see, you shouldn't be, I just copied the Skype one. So you need to go to click on this one, click here to open a web chat configuration page. And this is the actual key that you want. And as you say, it's your secret key here that's coming from this place. So you can choose either one of these. All you have to do is first copy paste this iframe, then copy paste this instead of your secret here. Okay, so job done. Now, all I have to do to test this working or not is to go to my Power BI, app.powerbi.com. I used a different account here. Okay, save. All right. Now, as I see, I have this Power BI Brexit board that I created. So if you go to my workspace, I've put this workspace in SE UK PPI. And this place is totally reserved for anything that I'm going to do here. This is a dashboard that I created. We also have reports, workbooks, data sets. Usually you only have 4, but now you have the new option called data flows, which is totally irrelevant to our session, but I'm just showing you what feature is being newly created in here. You can click on data flow, and then you can choose if there is any new entities that you wanted to create. You have plenty of data sources for you. Okay, so let me go back to that. Okay, let me close that. And I'm going to hit on this. I already got a chart window here. So if I need a new one, I'm going to click on add title, add tile, then I'm going to choose web content, hit on next. I'm going to give a title, which I already have called Brexit bot, and then subtitle, which is my FAQ, frequently asked questions. Embed code is the code what I copied from my previous screen, which is that. And I'm going to hit on apply. Okay. So once that is done, then I'm having this screen. So now here I'm asking, hi, who is the Prime Minister? Let's see if it answers. There is no match for it. Who is Theresa May? So it talks about Theresa May was against Brexit during the referendum. So it also talks about what she was doing at the time. So every time you just put Theresa May, it's going to give the results like that. So you can customize and do these things. So what we have done is a simple flow in here. So I'll show you this. So first we went to the Q&A maker with A.ai. Then that showed up for our Azure services where we created a service. After we created the service, then we also went to the Q&A maker to create the questions and everything. Once that is set up, we went to the Azure bot, Azure portal to create an Azure bot app, and we integrated the two, which is and also that 4 also enabled us to publish 2 different channels. So life is much easier here, right? So it's a very simple understanding of how you can really implement a Power BI bot. Bot into a Power BI. Now, more information. So also embed this Power BI, bot with the Power BI to the report, because the demo what I was showing you was for the dashboard. So if you want to do it for the report, then you have to use with the help of Power Apps and with custom visuals that's available in that one. And also you have your regular Power BI Q&A that can be embedded on the board services as well. What that means is you can also and get more questions where you have the data residing into your database as well, and plenty of features that are available on that. Let's jump on to the next one. Azure Cognitive Services, which is a Phase API. I don't have a demo here, but I have the slide deck for you to see what the demo is actually covering. So the Phase API falls under Vision Cognitive Services. And we have a couple of scenarios here. So the scenario one is you're going to feed in a URL of an image resides in the website, and then your Power BI is going to detect that image. It's going to send it to the Azure Phase API. Sorry, with the Python script. With the Python as a data source, it's going to give you an output. Second scenario is the same, but instead of making everything available within Power, you can store the results in Azure SQL database, and you can simply extract the data into Power. Now, how does this? So as you see in the Power BI report, so you have this Phase API, and also you have plenty of subscription key Phase API. These are all some of the parameters that you have created as well, and then that's going to help you to feed in, which also helps you to, you don't have to feed in, and you have option to click on drop down and they can choose the various images. After you choose the image, that's going to change the picture in here. Based on the picture, the cognitive services is going to understand the photo, say roughly what's the age, gender, glasses, bald, anger, fears, surprise, neutral, happy. So what exactly the feature talks about a photo, you can get that into a simple Power BI report. And it gives like color gray, confidence levels, and various other stuffs. And you go to these parameter path and then try and change to a different image. That's going to change different image. You're going to get a different results. So that's to do with our Phase API. The next one is about text analytics. So text analytics falls under language. So we're trying to touch base as much as possible, but we're not covering every single one of the APIs that is available. So with text analytics, what we have is sentiment analysis. So you have analytics API from Azure, and you have a data set available from data source in Excel. And this Power BI is going to extract data from the data source, and then getting the text analytics API, it's going to understand the sentiments with the key phrases, and it's going to give you an output. For example, this is an Excel data sets which has got like kind of widget services, packing, peanuts, and plenty of other information available in here based on some function that you're trying to invoke in here. The output of the text analytics is going to show how many number of times it's been involved, and also about analytics about text involved on these ones is created as a map in here, as a cloud, word cloud. And you also have how many words being used and then how many times and that sort of things. So kind of a good analytics on this side as well. So I hope you understand how artificial intelligence can be totally exploited, and simple to understand Power BI can immediately make it available to all your end customers is our great goal in this webinar. If there's any questions, please do drop an email, or you can also put in the text chat. If we have time, we'll get in touch, or you can also put into the discussions in our Power website. And thanks for everyone. Thank you everyone for attending this webinar.